Hi there, I'm Camila Campuzano, the Community Manager of Montessori Thrive and Nido Marketing. Welcome to the Nido Marketing YouTube channel, where every week I make videos to help schools market their schools, grow their enrollment, and find a sense of support when it comes to Montessori school leadership online. In this week's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 things that all Montessori schools should really be avoiding when it comes to building out a great website. So let's get started. So the number one mistake that you can really make on a bad school website is to not have any CTAs or calls to action. Really, CTAs are extremely important if you're aiming to grow your enrollment and to engage families throughout your school website. They should be front and center. They should be consistent throughout your website, so include them throughout several pages, and they should really be clear and easy for parents to go ahead and click on and take action. Some examples of some great CTAs that you can have. Number one is the automated tour scheduling. So schedule a tour. As you can see pictured below, we have an example of this on our nidosite.com, which is our sample school website. We have a call to action there that invites parents to schedule a tour automatically directly on the website. This is a great CTA, and we put it throughout our website. We put this under program information. So it's really relevant under several different pages because parents should be able to easily schedule a tour throughout your school website. Another one you can do is for parents to request tuition rates. This is great if you're gating your tuition, and obviously this is information that parents do want to know, so they can always click a button and request tuition rates. They'll give you an email and they'll get that in return, but it's just a quick CTA to get them to click somewhere. Another one is maybe a request for detailed program information or detailed scope and sequence. Lead generators are really going to be great if you want to have more CTAs throughout your school website, but ultimately the goal of a great website is to get those prospective parents to go ahead and engage. So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing that you want to avoid on your school website is having no pictures or having bad ones. You always want to make sure that all of the graphics on your website are relevant, they look nice, all of the images are great. Things that you want to avoid is a lack of imagery, because ultimately people are visual. They need to have something that looks visually stunning, professional, and relevant. You also want to avoid having bad pictures, things that are low quality, or pictures that are just not really relevant to Montessori. Instead, capture those beautiful environments, children concentrating on their work. And you also want to avoid graphics that really don't align with Montessori. Instead, let's aim to have high quality photographs. Luckily, in the Montessori space, we have a beautiful subject matter. We can take pictures of our environments, of our materials, of guides and students. It's worth it to hire a great photographer to come into your school if you can and get those pictures that you can use throughout your website. Also, graphics that look clean and professional are great. As you can see pictured here in the orange is a sample from our Nido site. All of the graphics are very minimal. Everything looks clean and fresh and quite modern. Below that, you'll see an example of one of the websites before. We have given it a bit of a makeover. And as you can see here, the images pictured in this website are not really relevant to Montessori. They feel a little bit daycare-ish, if you will. You would not see this type of imagery in the Montessori space usually. It kind of deters the right prospective families away. As you can see from a prospective parent point of view, which website is looking a little bit more professional, which one needs to be taken a bit more seriously. It's going to be the one that's orange, correct? So keep this in mind when you are designing your website. Make sure to include lots of beautiful images and give parents a real insight as to what Montessori looks like. Number 3, if your website is difficult to navigate, it's a huge failure. Websites should be easy to navigate across devices. This means smartphones, tablets, computers, laptops, etc. It also needs to be well designed and structured. Here we have a picture of Northwood Montessori School. This is one of our Nido Marketing clients in Houston, Texas. We've worked on their website, and as you can see, everything is very clear. They have their CTA. On the top, they have their navigation bar, which is very compressed. It's not overwhelming. There's not too much there. A parent can easily access what they need to, and it's very easy for a parent to scroll throughout this website. It's a beautiful website. And that's how it should be. A website should always be straightforward. Nowadays, parents are really used to navigating through all sorts of websites. If yours is difficult to use, it's going to frustrate them and they're just going to move on to the next. So make sure you're really building a great first impression and make your website easy to navigate. Number 4 on things you want to avoid, walls of text, too much content. Having too much content can really look quite outdated and feel overwhelming to parents. Back in the early 2000s, we're used to going on a website and seeing giant walls of text and blogs, but nowadays this is just not what you would see. All websites are beautifully designed. The copywriting on the websites would be purposeful. Everything would be edited down to what's relevant. And the reality is that parents don't have time to read all of this text. Plus, they might not really be getting the full value from it. It's more valuable when it comes directly from you when a parent is on a school tour. That's when it really becomes relevant and impactful to that parent. So it's important to know how to edit down your information, break up text with titles, bullet points, and always be including pictures or graphics to break up text throughout your website so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. We are all visual creatures, and it's important to have a website that's inviting and invites parents to learn rather than overwhelms them with so much information. Remember, the goal of your website is to get prospective families to schedule a tour so they can come in person, meet you, and learn more about Montessori. Number 5, so the 5th point I want to make here is you really want to avoid having slow loading times on your website. If your website takes too much time to load, it's going to frustrate those prospective families and they're going to move on to the next. Nothing is more frustrating than, searching through all the different schools in your area and you get to a website and then there's one that just takes forever to load. Every time they click on a page, it just looks unprofessional. It's not great. There's several ways that you can improve loading times. Things like choosing a performance optimized hosting solution, that's probably going to be the best. Compressing your images, reducing your redirects. Ultimately, there's a couple of solutions and approaches that you can take. You always want to be testing your website to make sure that the pages are loading quickly so that, when parents are, exploring your website, going between pages, they're not having a negative experience. All 5 of these points are important to remember when it comes to building out your website. If you want to make sure that you have a website that will help you grow enrollment, will help you educate families on the benefits of Montessori, and will just be visually appealing and inviting to that parent so they can build a great first impression of your school. I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope that it gives you some direction when it comes to building out your own Montessori school website. If I left anything else, or if anyone else has any suggestions of things to avoid when building out a successful school website, please drop those in the comments. Always like to hear your ideas and thoughts. If you need help and support when it comes to building a great school website, we at Nido Marketing specialize in building websites specifically for Montessori schools. So if you need help, we can help you set up your dream school website with automations and everything that you could want. They're fully customizable. I'll be back next week with another Montessori marketing video. Until then, take care.